Hello, my lovelies. Maybe you're trying to find some positive habits that you can implement in your own life, or you're curious to hear from somebody who has seen a change in their life from implementing some easy habits. If that's the case, then this video is for you because I'm going to share 7 simple habits that I truly believe have changed my mindset and have changed my life around, and hopefully they can inspire you to change some habits as well. All right, so let's start off with number 1, making my bed every morning. I know that sounds like ridiculously simple, but hear me out. Why is this such an important thing? I think for me, just to give some background, I have varying energy levels. So I could be at 100% one day, and then I'm an introvert and I'm also highly sensitive. So I can get very overly stimulated by my surroundings and by people. So I can go from 100 to 40% within the span of 24 hours. So when I'm feeling really low energy, I'm self-aware. I have the tendency to just lay in bed for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours and just do nothing in the morning, especially when my energy levels are really low. But for me, making my bed adds some structure to my morning. Plus, it already gives me one task on my to-do list that I can easily complete at the start of every day. So I motivate myself even on those days where I have very low energy, where I'm like, if I get up and just make my bed, that's one thing I did today. That is a win. Like, I got up and I did this task, and that's one thing off my list. So it's something that truly starts off my day on the right foot. It kind of signals to my body and to my mind, like, okay, we've made our bed, so we can't just lay in bed for the rest of the morning anymore. It's time to get up and get the day started. So before I even brush my teeth, wash my face, make some coffee, the first thing I will do every morning is make my bed. And it just gives me a boost of energy and signals to me, okay, it's time to get the day started. Now we can't lay in bed for the next hour or two. So let's go brush our teeth, make our coffee, read some books, start off the day. So that's really been helpful for me over the past couple of years. And I even have a tendency now to even just make the bed when I'm at a hotel, because it's first task to do in the morning, make the bed. Doesn't matter where I am, I will be making the bed. Number 2, fixing my sleep routine. I am a night owl. When I was younger, in my teens to even my early 20s, I would go to bed at 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning, 4 in the morning sometimes, and I'd just be on my computer or watching TV. And it was fine when I was a teenager for a while, but it didn't really work out for me too great when I started my career and I was going to bed at 1 in the morning, and then I'd have to be up at 7 in the morning. And I was perpetually sleep deprived, and I didn't even realize it because that's what I was used to, right? So I had no idea, what does not feeling sleep deprived feel like? So it didn't, sometimes life has to punch you in the face for you to realize that maybe you need to change something. And yeah, I was going through a period of severe stress and anxiety a few years ago. I think it was 2018, 2019 maybe. And I didn't do anything about the stress. I just kept going. I kept ignoring it. Warning, do not do that. Your body will punish you for it. And then one day I went to bed, had a panic attack as soon as I was trying to sleep. And then I ended up with like a 3-month-long sleep anxiety, which then made me reevaluate my sleep habits. And so I've purposely started going to bed around the same time. It doesn't matter if it's a weekday or a weekend, and waking up at the same time every morning. So I wake up at 7 a.m. now, and I go to bed at around like 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night. And trust me, as a night owl, I could probably go until 2 a.m., but I've learned my lesson. So my energy levels, ever since I've implemented that change, it's like night and day. I'm like a totally different person. I was never a morning person before. The morning is now my favorite time of the day, which like 20-year-old me would be like, who are you? What's happened? I sleep enough now. That's the big difference. So I've seen such a big difference in my mood. I'm not as cranky in the morning. I can just get up and get my day started. I don't feel tired all day. I don't get headaches as often. Like, I rarely get headaches now. I used to get headaches a lot before. And it's so crazy how just sleeping enough can make a difference and change our energy levels and our moods as well. So going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every morning. And actually, even if there is a night where me and my fiance Ben end up going out and we stay out later, say I get home at 11:30 p.m. or midnight, guess what? I still wake up at 7 a.m. and then I just make up for it the next day. So it's almost ingrained in me now. Like, I just automatically wake up at 7 a.m. without an alarm clock, which is crazy because I would sleep through my alarm clocks before, but that's just because I was just really tired, guys. So fix your sleep schedule. That's made such a big difference in how I feel, my mood, and my energy levels on a daily basis. Number 3, writing down what I'm grateful for. So this is an example of like some of the stuff I've written throughout like the past year or so. Like, all of this is just gratitude. And I usually do this like maybe an hour or so before bed when I end my day, just to shift my perspective and my mindset. I think it's so crucial, especially on the days that are a little rough and maybe you had a bad day, things didn't go your way, and those are the days where it can be extremely hard to find something to be grateful for because we're just focused on what went wrong. But I love doing this exercise because it forces me to look for things, like the small things, even the smallest thing that I can be grateful for. Like, I got to watch a movie with Ben tonight after I was done with work, or I got to eat a croissant from my favorite restaurant. I was able to talk to a friend on the phone and check in on them. I got to visit my family, or I had an amazing cup of coffee, like little things that really make life worthwhile that we tend to forget or overlook when we're focused on the things that irritate us or that go wrong in my life. So putting this habit into practice, I've been doing this for, I don't know, like 4 years, has helped me close my day off on a good note, because especially if I've had a bad day, it reminds me like, oh, you know, there are still things that I can be grateful for. It's not all doom and gloom. There are little things that happened today that made me smile or made me thankful, whether it's a hug from a friend, eating delicious food, watching the sunset, going out for a walk, little things like that. So especially on the days that are hard, this has helped me so much. And I actually have this new one that I've started filling out that a friend gave to me as a gift. I have an attitude of gratitude. So I do this every night. I prefer to do it at night because, again, it closes off my day on a good note. But I know some people do it in the morning, or they do it both in the morning and at night. So this is what works for me. Number 4, and this so goes against hustle culture where it's like, go, 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 always be productive. I feel like that's seen as a positive in our society. And don't get me wrong, like, yes, work for what you want, but sometimes you need to just be unproductive. And so that is a habit that I've been doing for maybe now like a year or two, is scheduling in unproductive days in my life. And what does unproductive days mean? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't do anything productive those days. I'm not gonna run errands, not gonna do the laundry, I'm not going to study or do anything productive. I'm just going to relax, do things that bring me joy, and replenish my energy. So those days, it usually depends on how I'm feeling those days, but I might like read a fiction book, I might go out for a walk, I might meditate, watch or binge watch like series on Netflix that I've been wanting to watch. Just nothing that's productive or an errand or where I'm learning something. And I realized that I really needed those days in my life because, like I said, my energy levels can be all over the place depending on how many things I have going on. And I've realized that sometimes you need to slow down to build yourself back up and regain that energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I used to feel so much shame and guilt if I had a lazy day where I didn't do anything. But now I find so much value in those days because even just one day where I can do absolutely nothing helps me replenish my energy and feel more motivated. Because I've noticed that if I just keep going, and the stress keeps building up, I'm just going to burn out. And then it's going to take me longer to recover, or I might start procrastinating, or I might not feel motivated to do what I feel like doing. So I schedule in unproductive days, usually once a month, more if I need it, especially if I travel. Like, I love traveling, but it drains the hell out of me. So whenever we travel, the next day or the following weekend, I will have an unproductive day to replenish my energy, and I will not feel any shame about it. So like I said, sometimes you need to slow down in order to get back up and regain your energy. Number 5, setting aside time for things that bring me joy. You know, I always felt sometimes like becoming an adult is pretty much just doing things that you don't like doing 99% of the time. And then you have 1% of time left to do things that you actually love. If any, sometimes it's 0%, right? Can any of you relate to that? So when I got so caught up in my career, I felt like I was on autopilot, like wake up in the morning, get dressed, go to work, drive home, get stuck in traffic, get home late, and then I'm so exhausted that I just wouldn't want to do anything. I'd have dinner, maybe watch some TV, and go to bed, and then rinse and repeat the next day. And I felt like what am I doing with my life? Like, I had lost touch with things that I enjoyed, things that brought me happiness. I just never had time for it, but I made time for a whole bunch of other things that I didn't enjoy doing, right? Because that's what being an adult is. That's what I thought. But over the last 2 years, especially now that I've been working from home, I've realized how much I missed doing things that I love, like reading or exercising more, going to classes to exercise, going for walks. And those little things that bring me joy and bring me peace, I've realized that they are just as important as the things that I need to do. Like, I need to go to work, I need to do my job. Well, I also need time for things that I love. So even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes a day, I make sure I pencil in time to do something for myself, to do something that brings me joy, because it, one, gives me joy and gives me peace, and it allows me to reconnect with myself, especially on like weeks where it's been a little rough. Those are the weeks where it's the most important to pencil in time to do something for you. Do something outside of like the tasks, your to-do list, your errands, that is just for you and makes you happy, whether it's a hobby that you have, whether it's exercising, cooking, something that really brings you peace and that you enjoy doing for yourself. I now realize like what a big difference that's made for me, because I feel a lot less stressed in my everyday life. And I also feel like it's reconnected me with my passions and made me learn a little bit more about myself. Number 6, reading. Another really simple one. Guys, read. No, but seriously, I was an avid reader as a kid. Like my favorite subjects in school were English and literature. Like I loved it. I loved reading books. I loved reading between the lines and trying to figure out like what the story was about. I always enjoyed it, but then in college, life got in the way, right? I was busy studying and I'm like, I don't have time to read now except for studying for class. And then I started my career and it's like, well, now I don't have time to read either because my brain is exhausted from work all the time. And then a few years ago, I started picking up reading again, and I realized how much I missed it and how much I learn from every book that I read. And I mix things up, guys. I don't only read nonfiction, I read fiction as well. And I learn from both. Like I can learn from fiction and nonfiction and learn a little bit about myself too. I feel like it opens us up to so many diverse perspectives that are different from ours. And it can also lead to you learning a little bit more about yourself, having like aha moments where you almost have like a mindset shift. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened to you where you're reading something and it's like a light switch went on and it's like, oh my God, yeah, that's so true. Why haven't I thought about it that way? I've had so many moments like that reading books. And that's why I think it's so crucial that I've adopted this as a daily habit, because again, it gives me bursts of creativity. I love reading, so it brings me peace. It's part of like my self-care toolbox. On my self-care days, I love reading. So I make an effort to read at least 20 minutes every day. And even on days where things are a little bit hectic and my schedule may be somewhat different, I still find ways to squeeze it in. Like if I'm cleaning the house, I'll pop in an audiobook and I'll listen to a book on Audible. Or if I'm driving to go visit my friends or my family, I'll listen to an audiobook while I'm driving. If I'm on a plane and we're traveling somewhere, I'll bring a book with me on the plane and I'll read there. So it really shows like how sometimes we let go of things that can bring us peace. Just like how I said, like make time for things that bring you joy. That's reading for me, and it's definitely helped me learn and continue to grow as a person. And it doesn't matter if it's fiction or nonfiction. I feel like I learn daily from them both. And last but not least, number 7, focusing on the systems, not the end goal. I've done a video about this previously on how to make goals less overwhelming. As somebody who has anxiety, making goals for me was always super hard because I felt like, well, what if I don't meet them? I'm just gonna stress myself out and then I'm gonna feel bad about myself. But I've learned that sometimes the systems, the process that gets you there is so much more important than like, I have to make this goal by X date or that's it. No, I focus on like, what can I do each day or each week or each month that can bring me to this end goal that I have in mind. So even like with my YouTube channel, hi. Even with my YouTube channel, like instead of like focusing like, oh, I need to reach X number of subscribers by this date. Yes, I would like to do that, but I focus like, what are the little systems and things that I can do to help get me there? Like connecting with my community and my subscribers, asking them questions, posting consistently every week, getting better at my editing skills, like studying YouTube videos every week, like even if it's just an hour each day, like little things like that that can bring you closer to your end goal. Instead of focusing only with the end in mind, focus on the process. I think that's the most important of all, because if you have a process in place, then eventually you're gonna get there, right? If you're consistent enough. So that's helped take off so much stress off my shoulders, because instead of just focusing like, I wanna do this, this, and this, and then panicking, trying to figure out how I'm gonna get there, what I've committed to is like, how can I break this down and simplify this, make it easier to digest, and what are some processes that I can put in place that I can commit to, like small little habits each day or each week or each month that can slowly get me there. Doesn't matter how long. I know that once I put these processes in place, it'll eventually come to me. So that's definitely made goal setting a lot easier for me and not as overwhelming. So focusing on the systems and the processes, not just the end goal, because sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves if like by X date we haven't achieved exactly what we wanted. But when we have processes in place, we know that we'll eventually get there. And then it also helps us realize, well, I didn't make it to 100%, but I made it 70% of the way. And that's growth. I went from 0 to 70%. That's still something. Let me focus on that gain and know that I can still put some other things in place to eventually get to that 100%. You know what I mean? So those are my 7 little habits that I've implemented over the past couple of years that I truly believe have made a significant impact on my life. I know some of them seem probably so simple it's stupid, like making my bed or just reading every day. But this is the thing with habits that you need to keep in mind. They compound over time. So even if it's just like 20 minutes of reading every day, that can lead to you in a year reading like, I don't know, 20 something books. And you can learn from so many different subjects during that span of a year, and that'll help you grow and acquire more knowledge. The same with like having a set sleep routine. You may not notice it within like the first week, like the big difference that going to sleep at the same time at night and waking up at the same time every morning may have on you. But over time, after a couple of weeks, after a couple of months, you'll see the impact that it has on your mood, on your energy levels, and that'll just motivate you to keep going and keep that habit up. It takes time to build habits, and you may slip and fall every once in a while, and that's okay. We don't need to guilt ourselves for that. We're only humans. Even though there's small habits, it still can take time for them to become permanent. You just have to dust yourself off and keep going. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you've tried any of these habits and if they've made an impact on your life, or what's another habit that you've implemented that truly made a positive impact in your life as well. I would love to know. Share in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you're new to this channel, I post videos about self-love and fashion every week, so you can go check those out on my channel as well. And if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you subscribed. Thank you. thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Love you!